Today's video is for all the sewing beginners out there that want to learn how to start drafting their own patterns, but they don't know where to start. Well, this is your starting point. Because today we're going to make a full outfit just by using rectangles. So there's no pattern needed. I'm going to teach you from beginning to end. I must warn you though, once you start making your own patterns, there's no way back. If you're new here, hello, hi, welcome. My name is Nuria, and in this channel I show you how to sew your dream wardrobe, and at the moment I'm showing you how to draft and sew tops. But I wanted to get a little break because it's summer and I wanted to make a whole outfit for beginners. So that's what we're going to do today. And don't worry, because I'm still going to follow the usual setup. I'm going to give you an overview on how to draft the pattern. I'm going to show you how I sew it. And I'm going to show you how the different designs are going to look on different body types. So without further ado, let's start. Design number one is going to be a tiered dress. You've probably seen this design all over the place on Pinterest, all the influencers saying that it's a really beginner-friendly pattern. It is that easy. So let me break it down for you. You're going to need two measurements: the waist circumference, so the circumference of where you want the skirt to sit, and the skirt length measured from where you measured your waist circumference. Step number one is deciding how many tiers you want. I want 3, so that means we'll have 3 rectangles plus the waistband. Let's look at the length of the rectangles first. The first tier will be the waist circumference times 1.5. The second tier will be the first tier times 1.5. And the third tier will be the second tier times 1.5. I multiply by 1.5 because that's the ratio of gathers that I like, but if you want a bulkier design, you can multiply it by 2 or 2.5. But just bear in mind that you might need a lot of fabric for that. Now let's look at the width of the tiers. First, define the width of your waistband. For me, it's 2 centimeters. Second, calculate the length of the skirt minus the waistband. And third, divide this number by the number of tiers you want, and that's the width of the rectangles. After that, you have to draw the waistband with the same length as the first tier and the width you decided, so in my case 2 centimeters. You add all the seam allowances and you have it ready. The fabric that I'm going to be using for this pattern is pointel. Is this lovely cotton that is very, very thin. It's pretty see-through and it has these patterns all over. But basically I have all the 3 layers, and one thing you're going to see is that the layers are not long enough because there's no fabric that the width is 257 for the third tier. So you're going to have to cut all the tiers and then attach them together. So that's what I'm going to do now. If you're using linen or cotton or whatever fabric, you can use the universal needle, but because I'm using jersey fabric, I'm going to be using the needle for the jersey fabric. So just so you know. So normally I wouldn't do it this way, but I thought that I'm going to spice it up and I'm going to start with the elastic. I don't know if you've ever gone elastic shopping, but there's 2 types of elastics. You have one that is like, you know, I don't need any strength to move this. And then there's another one that is a little bit more sturdy. I would like it to be even sturdier, but I'm going to go with the thickest one I have. And this is because the skirt is going to have a lot of weight. So you want elastic that is going to hold its shape. Otherwise, the elastic is just gonna give, and you don't want that. During the patterning phase, I told you that you should make the waistband on one side and then the top tier on the other side because it's easier to understand when you're patterning it. But the truth is that I added them together. So the first tier and the waistband for me are together. So then I just have to fold it over and everything is fine. So that's going to be the next step. I'm going to add the elastic and fold it over and pass 2 stitches everywhere. So for the elastic length, if you remember, we took 1 measurement and it was the waist circumference. So for the elastic, we're gonna get that waist circumference minus 2.5, and that's going to be our elastic. I keep looking at myself in the camera and just my face looks brown and then this looks so white. Guys, summer is coming in 4 days, okay? So my tan lines will be better in 4 days, okay? So now I'm wearing the first layer. It looks perfect. And then the next step is going to be dividing the skirt into 4ths because we are going to gather it. So I'm just going to mark 4ths on one side and on the other side, and then I'm going to run 2 long stitches along the top of each tier. And then I'm going to attach them together. Some of you have been asking how I keep my patterns organized, and this is my secret. I'm a little bit of a control freak and a perfectionist, so the truth is that my goal is to have one folder for each piece in your wardrobe. And my way of organizing it is always the same. I have the different foundations, and then I have the title page, and then I have all the patterns that I've done using that foundation. This is one of the covers that I have, and behind the cover I have the foundation. So this is the cover, and this is how my patterns look like. It's always very neatly organized. I have all the pattern information, so what foundation I'm using, what waistline, what necklines, and what are the details that this pattern has. Then I have the sizing information to remember how big I was when I drafted this pattern. Then I have all the fabric requirements, then how many pieces should be in this folder. And finally, I like to have the picture of the final product and a sample of the fabric I used and the drawing of the trousers. And then I have my folder of unorganized patterns. So if you want to get this project plan template for trousers, it comes with the culottes, with the trousers, with the slacks, with the jeans, and then with the template that I just showed you. And I have it on my website for €2, and it's a little bit of a symbolic price. It's just like the buy me a coffee option. It's just I didn't want to ask for money without giving anything in return. So if you want to help me keep going with all this free content that I'm putting out there, I would really appreciate it. And if you don't, just I'm happy enough that you watch my videos, if I'm honest. So thank you so much. I feel so awkward after saying this and after showing you that I'm a little bit of a freak and I love organization. We've gathered all the layers of the skirt, so let's try it on. I'm not sure if this is my kind of skirt or not. Owen?
Very nice.
You like it?
Yeah.
Do you? Your face doesn't say that. You don't like it. What don't you like?
Does it look like an old grandmother's leggings, the material?
What do we think? Owen hates it. Okay, so that's the skirt. What do we think? Owen says he doesn't like the fabric because it reminds him of grandma's leggings, which I don't know what that means. I like the fabric. It's just, I don't know if it does something for my body shape. Very comfortable though, very, very comfortable. I have to finish the hem. I'm gonna do a lettuce hem, but before I change all my threads on the overlock machine, hello, we're gonna get into the next piece. So we move into design number 2. This design has probably also been on your Pinterest board. It's been on my Pinterest board for a long time now. And this time it's 6 rectangles. And it's basically a rectangle top with some shirring above the chest. Let me tell you right now that I'm not a big fan of these tops because I feel like they are very bulky and the finishes are not nice. But on the other hand, I've never tried it. And I've seen a lot of people wearing it and saying that they love it, so I thought let's give it a try. So how are we gonna draft this? This time you're only going to need the chest measurement and the length of the top. The length of the top is measured from where you want your top to sit to where you want it to end. To draft it, the concept is very similar to the skirt. It will all depend on how many gathers you want. Let's pick a 2 ratio this time. If you remember for the skirt, we picked 1.5. First, the length of the rectangle is going to be the chest measurement times 2. That is the gathering ratio. And for the width of the rectangle, the measurement is going to be the length of the top you chose. And aside from that, you're going to need 4 rectangles to use as straps. I'll make mine 4 centimeters wide and 50 centimeters long because I want to add a tie-in at the top. And then you add the seam allowances and the pattern is ready to be used. For this pattern, I'm going to use some gingham because I have a lot of it. And it's the fabric they use on the top I have on my Pinterest board, so I thought, why not? And at the top, I don't want to do a normal hem that would be folding and folding. So what I'm going to do is see some embroidery finishes from this machine, this new machine, and see how they work, if I like them. And if I like them, I will use them. I think I'm going to finish the top like that because I have the feeling if I add a facing or something, then the shirring is going to look weird, but I don't know if this is going to stay. It doesn't look very stay-like, you know what I mean? Step number 1 was embroidering this, done. And the next step, I'm going to make the straps. So that means that I'm going to put them I'm going to fold them halfway, run a stitch in 1 centimeter seam allowance, fold them back in, iron them, and those are the straps. Next step is going to be the shirring, and I've never done it before, so we're learning together. First thing I'm going to do is wind the bobbin by hand, they say, because then you're not supposed to pull or whatever. Shirring is pretty straightforward actually. I just wind the bobbin, I put it in the bobbin place, I change my tension to 6, the length of my stitch to between 3 and 4, and that takes me from this to this. And here's the front, and here's the back, and you just run a straight stitch and you go like this, following the lines of the gingham. And if your fabric doesn't have lines, then you just create them with some erasable pen. The more lines, the more shirred. And be mindful that the front has the normal thread and the back has the elastic. So now it's time to attach front and back together. So we're going to put the right sides facing each other. So the side that doesn't have the elastic is the back. And we're going to sew along the sides. The main structure is done. I'm gonna try it on and place the straps. I don't think it's my style, but it's not ugly. So I placed the front ones. I'm gonna place the ones at the back at the same place, and the top will be done. I don't think it's my style, but I'm not upset about it. And it's actually pretty comfortable and very airy and it's a nice top. And we're done. We're gonna try the whole outfit together. Let me get a mirror. My brother is here, so cut! Okay, so this is the final outfit. It's okay. It's okay. Like I told you, I'm not a big fan of these kind of things because I feel like it makes me be, you know, like my boobs are flattened with this shirring thing, and I'm not a big fan. But if you are into this, it's so easy. I made it in what, 1 hour, but because I did all the embroidery and all the little things. But yeah, it's nice, no? And as always, if you're wondering how this would look on your body type, here is how the skirt would look by itself, here's how the top would look by itself, and here is how the whole outfit would look on the different body types. So if you're interested in making this lovely outfit, go ahead. I think the instructions, they are not step by step. Let me know if you would like some step by step, but like really step-by-step instructions. And otherwise, if this is enough, you would do me a favor because I don't have more time in my life. But hey, if you want it, I'll get a tutorial out for you. But that's everything for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see more of this, you can always follow me on Instagram. My handle is _Nuriamo, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.